Justin was like, yeah. Oh, hell nah. Oh, hell nah. His ass was like, nope, I ain't going to bed. It was funny because he looked old and withered. Yo, what's good? It's your boy Jornal A1 Lugo. This is my man Steve Rivera. He's also a fighter, just like me. So we're gonna talk about UFC 318. All right, so let's just get into the card. We're gonna go from the top of the card straight to the bottom. And the bottom, I mean main event. So what was the first fight? Was it Michael Johnson? Daniel Zellhuber. All right, have you
Okay.
seen Daniel fight before?
I saw him fight before. I believe he fought in at the Spear.
Yep. That was the first fight I seen of him as well. So I'll just
Yeah.
give you a quick recap because it was a good fight. And it was surprising to me too because he fought against Michael Johnson. Now Michael Johnson is basically a 50-50 fighter. He's 25-19. And Michael Johnson's coming up from 145, went up to 55. Daniel Zellhuber, this dude is way bigger than Michael Johnson. I'm talking about like way bigger, longer, taller, and way younger. Way younger than Michael Johnson. I think he's only 26 years old. Michael Johnson is 39 years old.
Yeah.
This dude's record was 15-2. He had everything in the world on his side to win that fight. And he went out
Definitely.
there and I thought it was garbage. I'm talking about he just looked slower. He probably threw one or two jabs the entire fight. He pretty much threw like arm kicks, like not to the body but like to the arm.
Yeah.
He,
Yeah.
he threw that pretty much the entire fight, but that was pretty much it. Michael Johnson was fast. He looked sharp. And Michael Johnson's not the smartest dude ever. I mean, right? Like he kind of just goes to war. And he went out there
This,
and put
this,
hands on him. He dropped him, all kind of stuff. Like first two rounds easily took. And Michael Johnson also did a lot of body work. A lot of body work, good going downstairs. And while Zellhuber basically did nothing, just threw those body kicks, super slow, looked stuck in the mud. It really just made me question like how good that other guy was that he went to war with at the Sphere because it looked bad. Like he's 15-3 now, and I'm like, yo, who did you beat?
who did
Because dang, huh?
who did who did he fight at the Spear again? I think I know who it was.
I forget the guy's
But
name.
I'm not
He,
trying to butcher because if it's the guy that I'm thinking, he just fought recently.
I'll tell you. Hold up. The dude's name was Did he fight after that though?
What's the guy's name again that he fought?
Well, his last fight was against a dude named Ribovics. I don't know if that was him though, because the Sphere wasn't in September, was it? When was the Sphere?
I can't even remember honestly. We got to get our facts right for this one.
Hey, turn up the TV too, so it's not in the thing.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, let's just jump. Yeah, we'll just jump into the next one because
To be honest, if you think about it, when Adesanya does his card breakdowns, he doesn't talk about every single fight. He'll skip a couple fights, so we could have just skipped that one since
no,
I didn't have the
I thought it
information
was a
on
good
that.
fight though. I wanted to go over just because I liked the fight. I thought it was a fun fight. So I wanted to touch on it. I thought Michael Johnson did his thing. He
Yeah,
usually, I mean, I wasn't expecting him to do anything. And he
yeah.
went out there and he did his thing. Michael Johnson is one of them dudes, yo. He one of them dudes that he'll mess around and knock out Ilya. Like he one of them type of random ass like
I mean, if you think about it, when he fought Habib, he buckled Habib,
he dropped the beat.
right?
Did he knock out Dustin?
Yeah, I think that was Dustin's first fight at if I'm not mistaken, it might have been his first fight at lightweight.
You see what I'm
And
saying?
he
Like
had,
Michael Johnson's one of them dudes that's like 50-50, but he'll knock the best fighter out. Like, man,
yeah,
random.
he has
So
that
like
potential.
but in this fight, it was more he used his skills and he was like he just looked way
Yeah.
better than Zellhuber. So I was disappointed in
But I
Zellhuber,
feel
but
like I feel like when you're 39, you're getting up there in age. You have to rely on other things because when you're younger, you can go out there and be more reckless because you can take more punishment because you're
yeah,
young, right?
yeah,
But at 39, you can't really go out there if you want to have more longevity.
longevity,
You have
yeah.
to change the way you fight. You can't go out there reckless. So I
So he's
think what he
probably a little
did,
sharper now because of that.
he has to be.
All right, so let's jump into that next fight now. Did you watch the Patricia Pitbull versus Dan Eay fight?
Yeah, I saw every fight after the first one.
All right, bet. So let's get into that. What were your thoughts on it?
Um,
Wait, first of all, but who did you think
honestly,
was gonna win that fight? I think you had picked Dan Eay, didn't you?
I thought that it might have been Dan Eay just because again, we even though Dan Eay doesn't always beat the best guys, we've seen him against better competition. If we're comparing their resumes,
Oh
Dan
yeah,
Eay has fought better competition. Win, lose, he's fought better, so he's more tested, right?
yeah.
So I figured he was going to go in there, and with that experience, he was going to get the win. I did not expect Pitbull to he was a little. I feel like he had his foot on the gas a little bit more. In comparison to his first fight against Jair. Um, so I think after that first round, I changed my opinion. I already knew who was going to win.
Then damn it. So I thought Pitbull was gonna win stylistically because I thought here's the thing about Pitbull. So Pitbull's a great fighter, but I highly dislike his wait for you to come at me so I can counter you style. Like that style to me is trash. Like he is so technically skilled, but the fact that he just stands around and waits for you to come to him so he can counter you, I hate that. But
Yeah,
I thought because Dan Ige is, he got that like Mexican come forward style, I thought he would come forward and it would be a fun fight because he would make it fun since he's gonna come in the pocket, throw punches, and give Pitbull a chance to counter him. But actually, Dan Ige kind of fought a little bit more reserved than I thought he would. But the
yeah,
little bit of motion that he did bring to the fight, Pitbull was able to capitalize and catch him with that right hand that dropped him and sat him down in the first or the second.
yeah. It might have been I think it might have been the first where he put him to his knee.
He dropped him to his knee, and then after that, secure the round. What I love that Pitbull did was he took him down to secure the round. Like,
Yeah,
nah, you
yeah,
can't get
definitely.
this round back. I'm gonna take you down. I'm gonna
But
hold you down.
there,
And
there was a moment. There was a moment where I thought Ige was going to completely shift the fight because Pitbull shot for a takedown, but as he was shooting in, Ige threw a kick
that was the
and the
third
knee
round.
caught him. That was the third round. He dropped him.
Yeah.
So I thought that moment would have. I mean, it was bad for Pitbull at that moment. I thought that was his best moment to potentially go for the kill, but I don't think that he was as aggressive in that moment as he needed to be.
I mean, he would have had to have. Here's the thing, because he was already down two. So for him to win that, he was gonna have to stop him. He was already he
That's
was
what I'm
already down
saying.
2 rounds.
So in that, I thought that moment was going to shift the fight because he had him hurt bad, right? So I thought that he was gonna go for the kill, but I don't feel like he had the urgency that he needed, knowing
I,
that he was
I
down
don't think
two.
I don't think it was that though. It wasn't just like an urgency situation because the thing is that if you would have went crazy, Pitbull, that's what Pitbull wants. He's trying to catch you. So I think he kind of knew it's risky for me to just get reckless because then I'll mess
But
around and get caught again. But that was his only
but
hope. He had to go out
but
on the
that's
field.
but
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
in a moment like that, when you're already down 2 rounds, right, and you had your first moment of success, right, you have to risk it, right, because
Yeah.
regardless, you're gonna lose no
Yeah.
matter
Yeah.
what.
You may as well
So
just
at
go out
least
on your shield.
exactly. So, but most guys, I get most fighters don't want to have that visual of being put to sleep,
Yeah.
but sometimes you got to take that risk because it might not happen. It's not a guarantee.
Yeah.
But
Might
what's a
just gonna
guarantee is that
lose. I mean,
you
if you think about it, right? Your job as a fighter is to entertain. If you get
yes,
knocked out, that's entertaining.
exactly.
So you
But
may
your
as well.
job, but your job also is to try to secure that win, right? So if you had a moment where your chances of success just skyrocketed and then you don't go for it,
Tweak it, yeah. Now you just lost. You just lost your opportunity.
that's what I'm saying.
So yeah, so I thought Pitbull did a good job though, and I also like that Pitbull mixed it up. I like that he was kept going for takedowns and stuff like that, like to kind of secure his rounds and to make sure he doesn't get finished. I like that Pitbull mixed it up. I would love to see Pitbull. Obviously, he would have to change his whole style, but I would love to see at least him work off his jab because look, his boxing is crispy and he hits hard. He's kind of like Ilya. He hits really hard. But the only difference between him and Ilya is that Ilya sets up his own work. He creates his own situations. He goes out, he works off his jab. He's gonna put pressure on you, work off the low jab, things like that, throw the calf kicks and things. Pitbull just
Yeah,
completely waits. If he were to just add a jab to his game and start getting busy, he could be a champ. Like I think Pitbull's really good. I think him versus Ilya is a fun fight because Ilya's gonna come forward. Obviously, I think he's gonna get
yeah.
knocked out. I ain't
I
saying he's
still
gonna
think
be Ilya, but I'm just saying like it's a fun
yeah, that's
fight.
that's yeah, that's back that up. You feel me? Because I feel like
Slow down a little
I
bit.
feel like I feel like that would be a good fight for a small moment because that fight is not going long. Like Ilya, like he is so powerful, bro, and just the
And
way he sets it up,
precise.
and like you said, the way he sets it up and the way he creates his own scenarios, it's a nightmare for Pitbull. So
Oh yeah.
you know
So all right. So now let's go to the next one. Now we got Kevin Holland versus Daniel Rodriguez. Now,
that was a
who did
wild
you
fight.
think was gonna win this fight?
Going into it, I was siding with Kevin Holland. Right, I just thought Kevin Holland was he had I feel like he's deceptively powerful, right? You look at his body, his stature, how he's very skinny, lanky. He's very deceptively powerful. But if you
He be
look
clipping
at what
people.
he's exactly, if you look at previous fights, he clipped Marvin Vettori. He's clipped guys that you probably wouldn't think that he would have. So he's deceptively powerful, and then he has a solid ground game. Like his BJJ is
Takedown
solid.
defense is like his anti grappling type of he can put you in danger. Now
Exactly.
this other dude, Daniel Rodriguez, I'm gonna be real. I don't know who this dude is from a hole in the wall. I never saw this dude in my life. So when I first saw them walking out, I was like, yo, this dude's going to bed. Like whoever this dude is, he's
Yeah.
like a criminal. I thought he was cooked. Did you know that guy before this fight?
Yeah, I've seen a couple of his fights. I never thought that he was somebody that screamed off the page. That was like a a, a guy that I thought was like extremely good. I thought he's a decent fighter, but nothing about him would have made me pick him over
Like you
Holland.
wasn't gonna
Right?
write home about him at all. Like
Exactly.
you wasn't gonna hit my line like, yo, you gotta check this dude out.
He ain't no Lauren Murphy. Feel me? So
So so the thing is, this dude Daniel Rodriguez is 20-5 now. He actually has a really good record.
yeah,
So when the fight started, I thought he was cooked. But this is what that dude has. That dude has two things. He got some power in his punches because he ain't the most technical. He's not the most technical striker at all. If you watch the way he
exactly.
comes forward, he's like overextending and like looking crazy.
Yeah,
But when
it's
he
that.
touches you, he got some heat in them things. That's
Yeah,
what's bringing him to the dance. And not only that, he got a lot of heart. That's really
I
what it
think.
was. No
Yeah.
wrestling. No
Now,
wrestling.
no,
Instant
no,
grappling.
no striking defense
Nope.
at all.
Is
Like
this? It needs.
that's it. He got heart and he got power. That's all he got.
Yep. So
Um,
I thought Kevin Holland did a good job. I thought he was doing good. I thought he was being slick. But the thing is that Kevin Holland kind of came out real like relaxed, and that dude it brought it to him. He kind of just
no,
set
but
the pace.
that's what Holland does though. That Holland typically starts off very slow and he doesn't like it's almost like he doesn't really like pick up until later in the fight, like midway. The first round, he's always just too relaxed, and in a lot of fights that works against him, right?
That's what happened last night.
So what he needs to start to do, I feel, a big adjustment in his game that will really pay dividends for him is to start stronger.
Yeah.
Start
Set the
stronger.
tone. See, for me. I've always had that as like a key thing in my like for my fights. I'm gonna set the tone. Like that's what I call it. Like I go out there and I let you know what you thought it was about to be. It ain't about to
Yeah,
be that.
that's,
That's like
that's what you
that's
got to
my
do.
that's my first
Because
mindset. Nah, it ain't going how you thought it was about to go.
exactly, that's what you got to do. Because if you look at the fight, right? If you look at in the third round, right? At that point, Holland already took
Now he was down
punishment.
too.
he already took punishment throughout the fight, and he still had that power to drop him and rock him, right? So that tells me that if you still have that ability in the third round,
He was hella fresh in the third, hella fresh.
exactly. So imagine what you could do in the first round if you start strong.
Yeah.
He
He
could
kind
have
of
got him
dropped the
out of there.
ball. He's too relaxed. And Steve, I used to always have this mindset where like I want to be very relaxed and things like that. But I've been realizing in MMA, like you want to be calm up here, but you want to be working hard. Like you can't go out there and think that being super relaxed like it's boxing it's not going to work because MMA is very close to a street fight. I think the perfect type of mindset and mentality to have is kind of like a Marab. He's excited and he's ready to fight. And I know you want to be calm. You want to be relaxed. Like Ilya, he's relaxed. But you got to be ready to work. You can't just go out there and just be calm and relaxed and then you lose
Yeah.
the whole first round. Nah, you got to set the tone. So
But I
that's
feel
going to
like
bring
there's
us
a
into it. I was going to say, that's
but
going to. Go ahead. What you going to say?
but I feel like there's a balance that there's a balance between the two. So you can be calm mentally, and be aggressive physically, but not be overly aggressive to where you're sloppy. And I feel like that's something that a lot of fighters kind of lack, right? They're either too aggressive to the point where everything defensively goes out the window, or they're too relaxed to where they're timid, they're not doing enough. But there's a balance that a lot of fighters got to kind of figure out how to navigate.
All right.
All
So the
right.
next matchup we got was Paulo Costa versus Roman Kopylov.
Yep.
Now, I don't know this dude Roman at all. So going into the fight, I just thought Paulo was gonna win just because I know him. But
Yeah.
Paulo was coming off being 1-4 in his last 5 fights, and he's super inactive. So I didn't really know what to expect. Did you know both of these dudes, and who did you think was gonna win?
Yeah. I was familiar with Roman. I've seen a couple of his fights. I always thought he was pretty good. Like I feel like he has pretty good striking. His kicking ability is pretty good.
Yeah.
But I didn't think that he was going to beat Paulo Costa just because going off of going off of Paulo Costa's circumstances, you know, having only one win within the last 5 rounds, I felt like he knew that his back was against the wall. He needed to get this win like badly. So I had a feeling he was going to come in more aggressively, which he did, right? So, and also I just felt like in terms of their styles, like Paulo Costa, generally when he's on, he's very aggressive, he's very powerful. Roman is not necessarily a powerful striker. He has solid striking, but he's not necessarily known for his power. So I
Yeah.
feel like Paulo Costa has pretty good striking, and he has his power level is like this is a video game. It's at like 90 something, right? His
Yeah.
rating.
Yeah.
So I felt like based on that, I felt like Paulo Costa was gonna win. But the way he fought, I didn't expect that, right? Because I'm just going off of what I think going into the fight. But based on his last couple fights not being so aggressive, I didn't know exactly if he was gonna come out the way he needed to, and let alone as aggressive as he did, right? So I felt like it was the type of fight that he needed to put on.
Yeah.
Win, lose, or
So
draw.
yeah, like I
Win,
think the biggest thing that stood out to me was the mindset that he went in with because people underestimate how important it is for you to go into a fight with a certain type of mentality. Like
yeah,
there's a certain mindset that if you don't have it, you're not putting your best foot forward. You can have all the skills in the world. If this is not locked in and ready to fight, it don't matter. Like look at, for example, like you could look at like a current Sean Brady versus the current Leon Edwards. The current
yeah,
Sean Brady is super hungry. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's
yeah,
looking to kill. Whereas Leon Edwards is kind of like, he already won his strap. Probably doesn't even know what his actual, like, does he actually even care to do this anymore at this point? Like, he already got the end all, be all for him,
yeah.
which was that gold. You
He
know,
already hit
like,
that goal.
you see what I'm saying? So, like, he didn't go in with the same mindset. So, look at how the difference. I'm not saying the skill level is so different, but the heart is so different. And when you
Yeah,
see Paulo Costa the way he went into this fight, he went in there like, I gotta beat this dude. He didn't go in there with how he went against Strickland. When he fought against Strickland,
Mhm.
timid, running around like a little girl, he didn't fight him this way. He came out there locked in, ready to work. So now
Yeah,
let's talk a little bit more about what actually happened in the fight. When you look at Paulo Costa, what I loved that he was doing, son, he was going to the body a lot. Did you
yeah,
notice that?
yeah, definitely. Those body kicks was I felt was the key factor to the fight.
The kicks and the punches. He was going downstairs all night with punches,
Yeah,
kicks, all types. I was like, that was great. I thought he was really active. I thought he had a good like mental, like he was headstrong. Roman Copilov, man, yo, the dude's volume is trash. He gets in front of you and does nothing.
and
Do it.
I will say that was due to Paulo Costa. What Paulo Costa was doing, I feel like what Paulo Costa was doing in that fight is the reason why Roman wasn't as on as he normally is, right?
Mm.
Like Paulo Costa's, like you said, his mindset and his the amount of times that he was going to the body, that was predominantly what he was doing, right? He wasn't necessarily head hunting. I would say back then maybe he head hunted a little bit more. Like this time he was a little bit more, he had like a more solid game plan, right? And I feel like that is the reason why Roman was um maybe
Not
not
as
having as
active
much
as,
output.
but
He wasn't as active.
I don't buy into the idea that like you need to work. It doesn't like you need to be jabbing and feinting and jabbing and feinting. He had Paulo Costa backed up most of the fight. Paulo Costa
Yeah.
has actually he moves his feet a lot. Paulo Costa doesn't just
Mhm.
stand in front of you. He was moving his feet.
Yeah.
But Roman had him backed up and just wasn't working. Like do something with these opportunities. Like work, work. Don't just let this dude. Don't watch him. He's a freaking spectator like all the rest of us. We're all watching Paulo Costa at this point. You watching him
Yeah.
too. So
But honestly, but again, that just shows you how good Paulo Costa was in that fight.
he showed up.
Because
He showed
he
up.
showed up, he was locked in, he was dictating the fight, right? He dictated the way Roman was approaching the fight
Yeah,
based on what he was doing.
yeah,
So
yeah. Paulo Costa just needs to. The thing about Paulo Costa is that he needs to do this every time. He can't. We can't wonder who's gonna show up. You got to figure out how can you show up like this every time. Now, do I think even if he does show up like this every time, is he gonna be a champ? No, I don't think he has the skills to. He'll never. I don't think he's ever gonna touch gold. He doesn't. He's just not skillful enough. Also, he's he gets tired very fast. Like his arms are very,
yeah,
very heavy. You know, all those muscles kind of weigh his arms down. He has a hard time holding his hands up. I think he lost the third round just to fatigue. You know, so I don't think he would ever touch gold, but I do think he'll do better. He'll be able to be like a
yeah.
50-50 fighter and win some of these fights as opposed to being 1-4. You know what I'm
But
saying?
I feel like I don't feel like this Paulo Costa that we saw last night. I don't think that version is going to always show up consistently because if you
Can't
look at
though.
if you look at his resume, we've seen this version of Paulo, and then the very next fight, he's timid. He's not aggressive. He's not as
Yeah.
active. He's moving, yes, but he's moving in the way that he shouldn't be, which is running, right?
You know what I'm saying? So that's why we
So
can never we can't have really much hope for him. Even I just said at best, he could be like a 50-50 fighter at
yeah,
best. But
but
if he can't show up like this, we don't. There's not much hope for him.
But at the very least, he did what he needed to do last night. He secured
Yeah,
the win, which was, is
he
well
needed
now
it. He
it's a
looked
set.
worried. I don't know if you know. He looked like worried, like walking into that fight. Like
Yeah,
I need this. Pitbull did too.
yeah.
Pitbull looked worried too. Like damn, I need to win this fight.
But I think for Pitbull it would have been worse because
Oh man, he'd have been like kick him out the UFC. He is trash.
exactly.
Let's get into the next one now. The main event.
I mean,
This is what everybody been waiting for. Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier. Now, I did know both of these people. I thought going into this fight, you already know what I thought. I thought Dustin Poirier had it in the bag. I thought the fight was 70-30 for Dustin Poirier. I thought Dustin Poirier was just a lot just stronger. I thought they were basically equal fighters, except for Dustin was stronger. They both had the same cardio. They both had the same boxing ability. I thought the only way for Max to win was for Max to somehow just be faster and a better boxer. But I didn't think that was going to happen. I was like, I think he is faster and he is probably going to be able to use his footwork a little bit, but I just thought that Dustin was just going to overwhelm him. 70-30 is what I had it. You,
Yeah.
what did you have it?
I had it. I had probably like 50 I mean 60-40 for Max. I didn't think that he was going to like I didn't think the win was going to be what it was, right? I
Yeah.
had a feeling he was going to win. But I didn't think that he was going to essentially, pitch a shutout. I had him 5
Dominated
up.
him.
I had him 5 up, right?
Dominated him. I was like, yeah. I thought
Yeah.
he actually beat him worse than I think he beat Justin Gaethje.
I would say so cuz like I feel like the moments of success, like the big moments I want to say that Max had in this fight were bigger than the ones he had against Justin. Like he visibly hurt Dustin numerous times.
Numerous
He
times.
dropped him, right? Um
And the
and
game plan, the homework. Max is a different dude at 55. Like since we've seen him fight at 55, besides when he fought Dustin the first time, he's a
yeah,
different dude. He's not. He left his volume punching, his I'm willing to take damage to give damage mindset at 45. Now he's
yeah,
moving his feet. And the key things that he did, he never let Dustin back him up to the cage. I love that. Like every time Dustin tried to back him up, he beat the outside foot, which is interesting that he was able to beat that outside foot the entire fight. He was beating Dustin Poirier's outside
yeah,
foot. Now look, I'm not one of them dudes that say, "Oh, whenever you're fighting an open stance, which is the opposite stance, you have to beat the outside foot." I don't believe in that. I think you could go both ways. I think you should just go pick your sides based on strategic plan for whatever you want to do. But I don't think you have to beat the foot. But he just literally beat Dustin's foot the whole night, and Dustin had no answer. Doesn't Dustin work with a personal like boxing coach or something like that?
yeah. He had him in his corner.
He was in his corner, and
Yeah,
not one time did he say, "Yo, you're letting this guy beat your foot the whole time." Like that's all Max did. That's literally the whole game plan. Step to the outside all night and beat
because
him just like that.
because like boxing is not all about what you're doing with these hands, right? It's what you're doing with the feet. And Max had that from the moment the fight started, right?
Hell
And
the
I want to
bell.
say it, and I want to say another thing that Max was doing great offensively is he was obviously mixing up the targets a lot better
High
than
low.
Dustin. Like Dustin for the most part, Dustin was predominantly head hunting, right?
Yep.
Whereas Max was mixing it up, going to the body a lot, right?
A lot.
Every time Dustin will come in, he'll catch him with a body kick and stop him in his tracks. Right? That was beautiful. Um,
He just had
just
an
it was
answer.
just
Every time Dustin wanted to get going, Max moved away, stepped to the outside, countered him. Like he was just faster. I love how he didn't go to war with him.
yeah,
Now, here's one thing. Here's one thing I did want to bring up. Did you notice how skinny and shredded Dustin looks last night?
yeah. I noticed that at the weigh-ins, like
He looked real skinny, right?
he looked more shredded and lean than he normally did. I don't know the reason for that. Um,
I don't.
maybe
Do you think that
maybe
played a
it's
role? Because he
um
seemed a little chinny. Every time he got touched, he got hurt. And that's kind of weird. Like, Dustin
yeah,
is not no super chin. Like, he gets knocked out, but like, he's not just
yeah.
every time I get hit, I get rocked.
I mean, this moment right now that it will be anything we would say will just us being speculating, right? We're just
Yeah.
speculating what we think is the cause for that. So maybe he was visibly more slim. Maybe he was dealing with something coming into the fight. Maybe he was sick. Maybe he was dealing with an injury. Maybe he felt that leaning out was the way to go. Kind of like maybe he felt like if I'm more lean, um, it will up my speed. And against Max, you kind of need that. But whatever the case may be, I don't know. But um, I don't even want to really talk about that specifically because I feel like that we're kind of like taken away from the victory of Max.
I just wanted to bring it up because I thought I noticed it a lot before the fight. I was like, why does he look so
Yeah,
skinny? And then in the fight, he looked chinny. So I couldn't help but think, why did he's chinny and he's skinny? And I remember when Errol Spence fought Terrence Crawford, I thought the same thing. I was like, why does Errol look
yeah,
so skinny and dehydrated? And then every time he got touched, he was getting chinned.
Yeah.
Pitbull, when Pitbull dropped down to 25, no, to 35 to fight Sergio Pettis, he went down, got knocked. TJ Dillashaw dropped down to fight Henry Cejudo,
Cejudo got dropped, knocked
got
out.
knocked. It seems when people look extra skinny, their chin goes. So I'm not saying that that's what happened, but it definitely looked strange to me. And I'm not taking away from his win because Max looked
Yeah.
amazing. And I don't think any Dustin Poirier ever would have beat that Max last night.
Nah,
So
that
I'm
version of
not saying that that's the reason. I think Max is better than every Dustin ever last night.
yeah. I think that version of Max. I'm not gonna say he's gonna win the title because we got Ilya there, and at this point I'm not seeing nobody beat Ilya, right?
Because
Um,
here's the problem. Max got dropped last night.
he did.
You don't just get dropped by Ilya. You go to bed.
Yeah, exactly,
That one little clip would have been night for Max.
exactly.
So,
But I do think this version of Max that we saw, I feel like he could be a key player in that division,
oh yeah,
right?
he's who. I mean, all right. Let's think about who is he good. Who can beat Max?
That version of Max outside of Ilya and Islam, if he comes back down, which we're gonna talk about that in another video. Um, I think outside of those two guys,
Armin has a tough
I
time.
don't. I,
Patty has a tough time. Oliveira getting fucked
but
up.
because he already different weight class, but he already beat Oliveira at 45. And I know now that's the Oliveira's calling for that fight because he's trying to say that that was a fluke victory. So that more than likely that's going to be Max's next fight, and I think it's the perfect fight to make for his next fight because right now. But outside of that, outside of those two guys, Islam and Ilya, that version of Max, I think he can beat
Most people, right?
everybody in that division. I feel
I
like
agree.
most of them,
I
yeah.
don't
Because
think. I think he should. I think he should fight Dan Hooker next though, for the BMF strap. Just give him another fun fight. Give him
yeah,
another win. That's a fun fight though. Dan is coming to fade. He's coming to fight.
yeah, Dan is kind of rejuvenated as well. He's been on a little tear. He's been doing a lot better. So that would
And
be
he's a
in terms
BMF.
of like, yeah. So in terms of a pure entertainment, right? That's the
Yeah.
perfect fight to make next, right?
I think they should make
But
that.
how would you think? How do you think he would do against Patty Pimblett in a potential fight?
That's a tough fight. On the feet, I think he schools Patty, but I don't think Patty can even take him down. I think he beats Patty. But if somehow it does get on the ground, it is dangerous. Patty, I think Patty's the best grappler in MMA right now. Like I think well, besides Islam obviously is fire on the ground as well. But Patty, I think his grappling is different. He can grapple. So I feel like if he's able to get him down somehow, which I don't really see happening, he could pose a threat. But I think Max is going to sweep him. Arman is the one that I feel like could be a problem because he's freaking chunky. That dude is big for 155.
Yeah, but my thing about Arman is like I feel like if we go back and we look at that Oliveira fight, right?
Yeah,
Like he arguably lost that fight, right? In a lot of people's eyes, he arguably lost against Oliveira,
yeah.
and I feel like and that was on the ground, right?
That was a
And I
close
feel
ass,
like
hard ass fight. And Islam
it was a hard
dominated
fight.
Oliveira. Yeah,
It was a hard fight, but I feel like that fight could have gone either way. Like I
yeah,
wouldn't be mad if you told me Oliveira won, right?
yeah,
And then on the feet, Arman got some knockouts on the feet, but he's not known as a great striker,
yeah.
right? Max has really good takedown defense, right? So I feel like that fight, if it stays on the feet, I'm going with Max all day, right? Because I don't think Arman's going to be able to compete with Max on the feet.
No, he's
And
not.
so if he can't take him down, it's a wrap.
GG.
It's a wrap for Arman.
Yeah,
I think I
so I
think
think we're on the same page then. Max is probably gonna fight for that strap. He's going to fight for that strap again, and I think
yeah,
it's
but
gonna
I,
be
I
it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be a good fight too, regardless of who he fights, Islam or if he fights or if he fights
I
against
think
Ilya.
yeah, but I think that if he fights against Ilya again, I see Ilya winning, but I definitely see the fight playing out much different in the first.
Yeah,
Like it's
he's
not
gonna
going to
have
be
to
the same
box.
fight.
He's gonna have to
Yeah, I feel
box.
like it's going to be exactly. I feel like it's going to be um a little bit more competitive.
Yeah. I could even see him even scraping like some kind of a win if he could survive for 5 rounds. I could see him even hurting
Mhm.
Ilya. I think Max is a good fighter. Ilya is just the thing is one mistake. Now,
That's it.
before we end it, I just want to bring up that last 10 seconds of the fight against Dustin Poirier with
So I
Max.
wanted to talk about that too, right?
Yeah.
So
Did you
what I'm going to say
notice?
about that.
Did you
So what I'm
notice?
going to say about that
Okay, go ahead. Go
is,
ahead.
all right. So one of the things I'm going to say about that is Max got to stop doing that shit because for the fans, it's exciting, right? Like we wait for that moment, but when you're up, whether it be 4-1, 5-0, and then you do that dumb shit, and then let's say you get clipped and you get put to sleep, what was like, bro?
Yeah, that's
I
a
will be
crazy.
if I'm in that situation, I am going to be pissed. Like I'm losing sleep over that, right?
Yeah.
Cause like so for that, I think it's stupid. He got to stop doing that because he gonna end up doing that with the wrong person, and they gonna
Ilya,
sleep him.
he gonna go to bed.
Like exactly. So, but and then the other thing I'm gonna say about that is Dustin ain't want no part of that.
That's what I was gonna say. Justin was like, yeah. Oh hell
Yo.
no. Oh hell no. His ass was like, nope, I ain't going to bed. It was funny because he looked old and withered. Like it looked like he was just crumbling. Like he didn't look good, man. I'm like, you know what? It's good that he's retiring because
Yeah,
Dustin is done for. He had a great career. He probably has one of the best careers. Like he's one of the most entertaining fighters to ever touch the octagon ever.
he's definitely the best fighter to never win a UFC title.
Oh yeah, and a dope ass entertaining career. Always highly ranked. Not a
Yeah,
scrub. Not like a freaking like Kevin Holland or Michael Johnson or one of these dudes like Bobby King whatever the
yeah.
hell.
He was
He's
always
not
in the title in the title picture.
always up at the top of the division. Fun ass fights, dope ass career. And last night, I don't know if it was due to the weight or what it was, but he just looked like okay, it's time to hang it up. So it's good that he hung it up. I feel bad that he had Lil Wayne walk him out and then Lil Wayne put the belt on Max. But good
Yeah.
good thing that the fight was against a friend, it wasn't against an enemy. So now you gotta
But
go
you know,
outside.
but you know what's funny about that Little Wayne situation? This is the second time that happened to Dustin. Because when Dustin fought Justin for the BMF, Masvidal was putting the belt on the waist, and that's Dustin's boy. Dustin got knocked out, and then he had to watch
Lil Wayne,
Masvidal pick it
yeah.
back. And feel me? So it's the second time that happened for him.
I mean, what it is,
So
what it is, man. He puts his heart on the line. He fights hard every time. I thought last night he's kind of it's time for him to wrap it up. So, but that'll be it for this episode. I'm gonna holler at you guys.